What's the dentist situation? Just give me a second. I got the right shoe. I don't know if our friend Charlie is here yet, but I got the right shoe in my hand. I'm sticking with that. I don't want that to become a pattern either, though. All right, I got some adjustments to make. Hey, Mustafa. Hi, Praveen. Sniper, good morning. Long John, I hope things are well. Got to be careful with these shoes. They have a tendency, the tongue has a tendency to bunch up, which causes problems when you're walking a longer distance. These days, long distance for me is 4, 5, 6 miles. Back in the day, longer distance was 100 miles. Hi, Kat. Kat says, good morning, sweet Yogi. Good morning, Kat. How are you? I know how you are. I was watching you on the TV. That's right, I said on the TV. When you get to a certain age, you can add unnecessary words. Unnecessary words. On the TV is just an example. Hey, Charlie. Charlie, I was just talking about you. As I slide on my right shoe. And I was thanking you. Hi, Anna. Mustafa says, I always wear orthopedic shoes, and I've never had any problems walking. Good. What do you guys, if anyone was able to watch, what did you think of our friend Scott? I did. I started with my right shoe, Charlie. You have proven to be an inspiration to me. Doesn't mean it's any easier. Doesn't mean it's any easier. All right, there we go. All the stuff that's to time. Did I miss Sissy? There she is. Hey, Sissy. Guess this Scott was great. He actually live now. He's been live for hours. Wow. And he's out. He's probably continuing since last night. I'm going to bring him up. Scott was great. I very much enjoyed him. He was a bit of a break from having course students up. I mean, I love course students up. That's going to be the main focus. Course students, meditation teachers. I need to reach out for some more breathwork practitioner. Maybe I can reach out to my teacher of teachers. Yeah, he's been doing several live streams. Let me check him out. Scott, he was a good guy. Charlie says Scott was good last night. I was there, just not in the chat. I appreciate that, Charlie. Did we get an answer from Long John and how he's doing? Did I miss it? Kat says, Yogi, maybe you could do a members live and teach us the breath work that simulates certain plant medicines. We might be able to do that. Susan says, hey Yogi, love your content. I appreciate that. Do you support your gays? Do I support gays? I do. I support everyone. Too. I support everyone. Hey, Skits. I don't even want to make the distinction of do I support this group and not that group? Absolutely everyone. I don't have any thoughts to what anyone does in their own life. You know what I mean? As long as, for me, as long as you're kind, as long as you're practicing forgiveness, and even that is optional as far as like absolute love is concerned. Hey, Lee. Good morning to you. Skits, how are you, my friend? Longden says, good morning, Anna. I just came back. So we might be able to do something like that, Kat. Let's put that on the list of things to do. Kat says, Skits, my partner in crime in Yogiville. Hey, Waza. Good morning to you. Fiend says, Yogi time. So according to Facebook, it is our friend Jace's birthday. So if you happen to see him out there on the YouTube streets, probably doing burpees or push-ups or squats, make sure you wish him a happy birthday. Longden says, it turned out they were trying to rush me the day I was to the dentist due to holiday, therefore called them first thing in the morning and rescheduled December 4th, where I will have a sit down. Okay, I hope they offer a solution. Good morning, Tiger King. Lee says, morning, TK. We get a salute from Better Self. Sissy says, good morning to Tiger King. Longton says also, you have to go there to get the titanium in my jaw torqued. Make sure it's strong enough for zirconium implants. So I'm already going through hell and dental. It's so much money. Insurance? Do you have any insurance, Longjan? So it says, good morning, Yogi. Hope you have a wonderful day, my friend. And hi to Soul Sister. Hope you're well. Good to see you. Hey, Kat. Whistles a cowboy song and hope you're well, my friend. I think that we need a video of you whistling the cowboy song. Devin says, what do we do here? I mentioned this before. I actually do ventriloquism, mime. You know, the standard mime routine, the man in the box, man against the wind, man invisibly fly fishing. That's a new one. I don't think anyone else on YouTube is miming fly fishing. I do a little bit of acrobatics, moderate stuff. You know, I'm a little older, so I don't do all the tricks that I used to do. What else do I do? Mind control techniques. You're probably right now shaking your head saying he doesn't do any of that. Mind control techniques. See that? See what I did there? Um, Contortions. I do a lot of contortion stuff. Mr. says, a beard is looking weak at the moment. That I grow a manicure for a bit. Man, you're speaking my language. That's another thing we do here. We critique my beard. I critique my beard, and you guys critique me critiquing my beard. Um, let it grow. Do the one thing that I can't do. Let it grow. I do let it grow, but you know, when it gets so untidy that it confuses me, what I'm worried about is that my beard is growing as like serpents and I'm having a Medusa-like effect on people. Thank you, Ethan. I do have a hell of a book collection. People often ask me if I've read every one of those books, and the answer is no. I've written some of them. I've probably read about 90% of them. 10% I have hope for. Well, let's say 8% I have hope of actually getting to one day. The other 2% are like textbooks that I've, had in classes and stuff. Longshot says, worried Miss Dennis will continue to accept no responsibility. My Dennis, don't want to overreact. So need to be in perfect control of my emotions amongst thriving. Let us know when you're going to go, and we'll do some breath work. Hey, Long John, if you send me an email, no matter what time it is, uh, maybe on WhatsApp or maybe on, if you have Messenger, uh, I'll do breath work with you right before you go in. Hey, and Mister, remember, we are always the most judgmental about our beards. Probably looks perfectly fine, my friend. Skid says, good morning, Tiger King. Hope you're doing well. With a salute. Speaking of doing well, Skits, how are you doing? Happy Wednesday to you, Daniel. Oh, and also, and Skits can back me up on this. I rap. Skits made a song of me rapping. Cat waves at TK. Devin says you should actually fly fish. Would be awesome backdrop and entertaining. I bet you it would be. And you know what I love about fly fishing? I don't need to put anything on the hook because as a vegan, I don't want to catch anything. But I could go out and fly fish. My stuff is starting to get gray. My stuff is already gray. Longden says these implantologists, is that the actual term for them? Out there don't take insurance? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Sooner or later, everyone's probably going to need some kind of a implant, and they can't build a dental. I have. Um, considering it's not in the network, wouldn't cover much anyway. This is stupid expensive. Do you have a GoFundMe? Hey, Kaden, how are you, my friend? Thank you for being back. I appreciate that. I appreciate you stopping in the morning, my friends. Kat says, hey, Yogi, prayers for a coffee cake. She has procedure today. All right, guys, if anyone is sensitive to bells, we're coming up with the bell ring. This is our friend for coffee cake, a good friend. She's one of the most joyful people that come in. Prayers for coffee cake 3 times. Love you, coffee cake. Boss says, you look like Johnny Sins, man. Hey, unless Johnny Sins is over 60 years old, he's looking like me. Let's get one thing straight, guys. I don't look like anyone. People might resemble me. I don't look like anyone. Don't even look like myself, to be honest with you. Sissy says, catch and release. You know what? It's not for me to catch something. If I'm not going to eat it, it's not for me. No judgment for what anyone else does. I don't want to. Cat knows this. My number one rule in nature is least interference. I do not want my own personal whims and sense of what's fun and relaxing to affect any other creature. That's me. I have zero interest in what anyone else does, or to change them, or to make anything different for anyone. No judgment. It's just the way I do things. I have. What's the matter says, did you come across someone who's sensitive to bells? Several friends that we have who are on the spectrum, bells can act a bit of a trigger for anxiety. Thank you, Long John. Boss says, you're right, man. Well, you know what they say about blind squirrels and broken clocks. Skid says, I'm doing well. Thank you, Yogi. I'm making small but gradual progress with my mindset. And yes, Yogi indeed can rap. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, see that? That's how you know I'm rapping. You can't tell I'm rapping by the sound of me rapping. You can tell I'm rapping when I go like this. Whatever that means. Uh, why, why am I getting laughy emojis jumping up? You guys just saw me, you saw me give a performance and I'm getting laughing emojis floating up. Hey, Pudding, I have a question. What's the question, Pudding? My answer right off the bat is butterscotch. Melissa says that's understandable. Skits, you never fail to make me smile and laugh, my friend. You are you are and will always be and have always been an essential part of my channel. From day one, your first appearance. That's right. Soul says game over. You know you know it. Let's see. Hey, Big Wasserman. Best robot impression, please. How do you know I'm not a robot doing a human impression? How's that? Flipping things around. A little bit of verbal jujitsu going on. Tiger King says, Eric, are you okay? As you don't seem your bubbly banter yourself. This is as bubbly as I ever get. This is as bubbly as I've ever been. Um, Wait a minute. Are you telling me I'm not funny today? Kat says, actually, I think Yogi seems pretty good today. Man, here I was thinking I was on point. I'm doing okay. To answer your question, I'm doing okay, Tiger King. I appreciate your concern. What's the matter? So that, oh, you made the crypt for a left life hand sign? I hope no blood show up in your neighborhood. Man, and I'm going out for a walk too in like 20 minutes. Crap. So is there a reverse sign that I can do? What's that? Sissy says, Yogi earned your thug card? Absolutely. Charlie says he seems perfectly fine to me, Tiger. Well, Tiger King saw me a bit out of sorts. No, I wasn't really out of sorts. I was explaining a position, but unfortunately, I was explaining the position over and over and over again. Um, but I can assure you, even though if I word something strongly, if my voice sounds a little stern, I'm not really upset. It's nothing's gonna last. Nothing is gonna last past the moment that it happens. I have learned from Scott. I do my best not to repress anything. I'm not saying I don't have repression. We all do. Um, but I am, at this point in my life, uh, I am fearless enough that I'm okay with repression coming up and examining it. Anna, how are you? Anna, how are your workouts going? Skip says, thank you, Eric, brother. That's a really beautiful and wonderful comment to start off my day. Just heads up. I think you're okay too. I appreciate that. All I've ever wanted was for you guys to say, you're okay. Ravine says, Yogi, sir, I'm red belt in Taekwondo, but nothing in front I learned in Special Forces hand-to-hand combat. We talked about that before. I agree. I got a brown belt in Judo, um, and I practiced Taekwondo quite a bit when I was younger. I started off with Shotokan Karate. Um, I've done a smattering of stuff, Muay Thai, boxing, um, Kempo Karate. I got an orange belt in Kempo Karate. A little bit of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. But I did Tim Larkin's target focus training. Tim Larkin was a combat instructor, hand-to-hand combat instructor for Special Forces, U.S. military, including Navy SEALs. And that's been more valuable. The most valuable thing was learning how to fall in judo because I fall on a fairly regular basis. Long says Yogi, not to be too personal, but do you have any kids? But you don't have any kids. Any specific reason? Just wondering. Um, I have a stepchild who was absolutely my kid. Uh, I helped raise her from the age of 9, almost 9. I think she turned 9 in the first couple months when I met her mother. I was a single step parent for a year when my then wife went to Iraq, U.S. Air Force. And even though I'm divorced, I still, on a fairly regular basis, um, chat with my stepdaughter. At the very least, we text each other. Um, she sends me wonderful messages that, uh, you know, I was friends with her father. She used to say that he's my father, you're my dad. And he was fine with that. Her father, who had a host of, he had a tough life. And he would always say, I just really, really appreciate you um, and what you do. Skitsit says, now your advice, kindness, caring, nature, and openness makes you a little superstar, Yogi. Keep shining, brother. Thank you so much, Skits. I appreciate that. I'm going to keep that. I am going to keep that. Hey, Skits, can I play this? Can I play this now? Well, I'm here on my page. I want to read. This is from Kenneth Wapnick, and he's quoting from A Course in Miracles because I do want to get in Course in Miracles here a bit. It is simply looking. It is the simple looking without judgment that exposes the ego's nothingness for what it is. This is a quote from the Course. Forgiveness is still and quietly does nothing. It merely looks and waits and judges not. Kenneth Wapnick continues, this is why moving ahead to a later movement in our symphony, he broke it up. Jesus says the Course is so simple. This Course requires almost nothing of you. It is impossible to imagine that asks so little or could offer more. So that's the amazing thing. Remember, we don't forgive. Everybody asks, so how do we forgive something that happened so awful or whatever? We don't. We don't do anything. All right. Skit says, play it. Here we go.
You missed my comment, bruv. You missed my comment. You missed my comment. But just so you know, right, you are the most amazing, wonderful, beautiful soul. One of the most wonderful, beautiful, amazing souls that I've ever met in my life. Keep shining, Yogi. Love you, bro. Love you, bro.
Man, Sean, that comment can keep me showing up 5 o'clock in the morning every morning for the next half dozen years, for sure. Let's see. The real Barack says, say, Queen, you know it, man. Yeah, learning to break fall. Exactly. Learning to break fall was the most invaluable thing that I've learned in all of my martial arts training. Longness says I used a lot of judo throws and trips for my wrestling, extremely similar. um, actually, a lot of trips, a lot of trip falls and everything were in my own limited wrestling, which is not anywhere near as extensive as Long John. I wish it was more. My lack of scholastic um, anything kept me from doing better in any sport, as I was often put on academic probation and was unable to participate. Charlie says, I could tell you were a wrestler from your photo. There's a lot of judo throws and trips with my wrestling, extremely similar. Oh, I read that. Wesley says, better not play too much with the gang stuff. On second thought, just be safe. Yeah, you're right about that. Especially because I don't know any. So every gesture I make is completely random, but you never know when you're going to accidentally fall into something. Praveen says, oops, oh, I missed what, oh, that's why, sorry, I always say we both have many things in common. We do, Praveen, for sure. Hey, Susanna. Susanna drops a link for us. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you guys spending some of your morning with me. Sissy says, of course, miracles and stuff. This is the purpose for this channel. Yes. And I enjoy the stuff as much as I enjoy the course. Kat is laughing. Uh, Yogi, I just love you so much, Queen. Isn't it supposed to be a Yaz Queen? You guys, I'm much hipper than you think I am. Okay, I'm not. Sissy's laughing. Kat. Anna says, good morning, the boss. Lee says, Mustafa, that's cool. Translations can be hard. Always nice to hear other perspective. Absolutely, Lee. Absolutely. Hey, my guest for this afternoon is unable to make it. He has a conflict in schedule, so it's going to be just an open hanging out. Tonight we got Squirrel Snapper coming up. We're talking about the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. It's going to be good. Skid says, I thought you were doing sign language. I swear I read it as I love pea protein. It could have been. It could have inadvertently been I love pea protein. I need to order some. I need to come up with a different word for it. Cat helped me come up with a different phrasing for chickpeas. Charlie says, every morning I do look forward to the morning chat here. I'm going to be honest with you. The morning live stream with you guys is my absolute favorite. I the half hour to 40 minutes, sometimes an hour that I spend with you guys is the best part of my time on YouTube. And I absolutely love getting guests and talking with them. But man, you guys. Hey, Matt Acoustic, are you a fan of the band Rush? Get tickets for any of the next year's tours. You know what? I'd like Rush, but I can't say I'm a fan of Rush. Our friend Lee is a huge fan of Rush. Hey, Lee, am I mistaken in saying that might be your favorite band? Boz says, are you happy with your life? Did you see what I just did? Because I know it. I am happy with my life, and I know it. Charlie says, I'm looking forward to that one tonight. Charlie says, epic one-liner skits. You just like it because it had about pea protein, right? Big Al sent me a not a message, but a comment on one of my videos, Tiger King, and he's still not feeling well. Still has the flu, but he's recovering. Pea protein, aka mushy peas. Is it mush when it's desiccated, when it's dehydrated, when it's powder? It's powderized. It's. I found a bylaw. I found a loop. I found a bypassing technique. It is dehydrated peas, not mush peas. Grinded down peas. So there. Tiger King says the same. Pep got team wrong last night. There was a big game last night. He says, I watched it with lads, didn't expect the results. So your team didn't win? There you go. Skit says dehydrated. I'm standing by that. Anna says, I'm so grateful and thankful to be here with all of you. Anna, you are essential. You're essential. It would not be the same without you. I can guarantee you that. And I can guarantee you that on every live stream that you go to, it wouldn't be the same without you. Tiger King says, Xmas will be you doing Xmas Day, live or not. I will be live. Nothing doesn't change for me, guys. I show up 365. I might be getting close to 3,000 live streams in a row. Oh, speaking of me not making changes, Saturday I will be going live at 6 o'clock as I have a guest. I have a reverend coming up. See if I can pronounce his last name. You guys correct me if it sounds wrong. The Reverend Tony Ponticello. I think it's cello. Sell, pronounced the same as a musical instrument, right? Ponticello, for my Italian friends. Friday night, we have the return of Martin Patet. We're going to talk meditation, the specific meditation that he practices and teaches. And he has offered free that he will teach people. And of course, miracles. So that's going to be good. Sunday is Goldie. Then I'm hoping I got to reach out to Chris, Mama Chris, Nature's Dog Realm, about maybe doing our November theme show that we do Sunday evening. As Saturday, there'll be no singing because I'll have a guest. Charlie says, I think that sounds right. Hey, Estot. Charlie says dehydration must be the secret. It is. Now, here's the thing. Imagine putting mushy peas in a glass of water and stirring it up and trying to drink it. Make a video of you doing that. Let's see. Magnum says, you're talking about good stuff? Nope. We're talking about mushy peas right now, so I'm most certainly not talking about good stuff. We were talking about Rush before, and I went off topic. Like I said, I do like Rush, um, but not, I'm not in that like league of fans. I'm not a fan. Uh, I like most of the music, but I couldn't spend an extended time listening to it. It's a little too progressive. I'm not a fan of most progressive rock music, prog rock. Some, Moody Blues. I absolutely love the Moody Blues, one of my all-time favorite bands, and they were some of the originators of prog rock. I liked a little bit of Selected, yes, a little bit of Selected Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I know our friend Adam is a huge fan of King Crimson, and he's been trying to slowly sway me in that direction. Also, back to kids. So I do have a stepchild, and absolutely love her. Am I okay with the decision not to have kids of my biologically my own? Yeah, I think so. Sometimes I think about it, um, but during those formative years, I was a mess, and I would not have been very present, unfortunately. And then afterwards, I was busy healing. Maybe that would have accelerated my healing. I would have someone to heal for. Um, Things work out as they work out, and I am okay with it. So, practicing kindness. We are practicing kindness. Skid says, wait, did Yogi just start a mush pea shake challenge? I did. I did. Let's see it. Um, I will put my dehydrated pea juice. That sounds that sounded infinitely wrong. It's before I even said it. I knew it was going to come out wrong, but it was too late to bring it all back. Hey, S. Dot, can you be kind to our friend, Tiger King? Some people are just more sensitive than others, you know? The Merry Gentleman. Who are the Merry Gentlemen? And it says, I watched again a good movie last night, a psychological thriller taking place during Christmas time. Oh, The Merry Gentleman. There it is. It's on YouTube. Hey, who is in The Merry Gentleman? Hey, Mr. Something Else. What's going on? Someone's threatening you? So my schizophrenic neighbor has been escalating violent and aggressive behavior. He has destroyed 8 or 9 of my decade-year-old um, 8, 9, 10-foot San Pedros. It's a plant, right? And on a side note, Mark says that Getty's voice is annoying. You know what? I can see that. I can understand that. Longden says, same. Rush is decent in its lane, just not my jam. Perfectly summed up. But you know what? People who love Rush with a passion. Signals is best, better than moving pictures. That's not sending you love, TK. Thank you, Estat. Wait a minute. What? Oh, clipping me saying infinite pea juice. Also says, I found out I had one. I'd rejoice. Are you saying if you found out or you did find out? Also says, I'm the same way. No biological kids. Not that I'm aware of anyway. 80s and 90s were a wild time for me. I could see during a section of my life where a woman might have decided not to inform me, I wouldn't be angry. Oh, gotcha. Now I got the whole picture. Longa says, I believe not having children actually keeps you young. You would never stress over anyone more than your own child. I can do that. I can see that for sure. My stepdaughter's been through a lot. Um, so yeah, there's been a lot of worry. Melissa says I'm kind of on Rush too. Plus, it kept bothering me over the years to replace their drummer. I find it awful disloyal of them. Yeah, I mean, they had one of the best drummers in the world, right? You know, I believe he came from a jazz background, and as a Ginger Baker, it's no coincidence that the best rock drummers have had a jazz background. Matt Akusa says Getty's voice has have an unpleasant tone, but he sings on key every single song. Gotcha. So what do you? Hey, Matt Akusic, what do you think of their new drummer? Mark says I've never seen Tiger King overtly out of line. He's Loki, and Loki is a badass, so back off of him. Thank you, Mark. Tiger King, I hope you heard that. It's a huge compliment. Loki, the trickster god. Loki is definitely a badass. Hey, Tiger King did me, for one, he's been so concerned with my well being and he's reached out to show his concern. I will forever, ever be grateful that he has shown so much care. As well, um, man, he tried to stand up for me the other day. I love anyone who's willing to step up and take on a bully, right? And two, he taught me a valuable lesson about concerning myself. You know, we talk about the um, three gates, and he, I don't know if he did this on purpose. Hey, cowboy, how are you? I'm going to go with Burger King. As a vegan, they have the Impossible Burger, and it's actually pretty good. Um, Sip says, I was surprised they decided to tour and use Anika. What do you think of how does she play? Is she good? Um, I ask everyone to be mindful. No one has to practice, but when you're here, be mindful of those three gates. Before you say anything, let it pass these three gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? And I've always said, don't worry about what people say about me. And Kat was a very early person to point this out to me. Uh, why would I allow someone to be mean towards me? And what kind of example does that actually set? And Tiger King, and again, I don't know if did this on purpose or inadvertently, uh, pointed out that I was not asking our friend to mind those three gates in regards to myself. If he was doing it to anyone else, I would have timed him out immediately if he was abusive to any of you guys. But here I'm perfectly willing to take abuse upon myself. Uh, one, that's just not a very good lesson. It's not a good demonstration. And it was mean to myself. Thank you, Long John. I appreciate that. She had her share of dental problems too at a very young age. Felt so bad for her. Lee says, Matakusik, I have his tattoo on me. Hey, Lee, how many tattoos do you have? Motion picture. You did moving pictures. That's another. That was the Cars. Sorry, motion pictures. Best Rush album. Gotcha. What do you think of the Cars? In the late 80s, mid to late 80s, when a lot of music just sounded the same to me. Overproduced studio produced bands, meaning that, you know, record labels, maybe I should say label produced bands, just sort of assembled bands together. Like Foreigner is, I'm not saying they're bad. If there's any big Foreigner fans, they just seemed so And they're not bad. Technically, they're excellent musicians, right? It seemed a very generic time, but there were some bands that stepped up. The Cars, Life is Strange, My Best Friend's Girl, um, The Police. They just they leaped out. They were this like bright light amidst the dim of the music at the time. Uh, Anika Nolis will nail it. Lee says CK is incredibly caring. You're right about that, Lee. You're right. CC said Tiger King came in less than clutch, but I'm willing to say I was one of the first to get triggered. However, I also say TK has come a long way. Miracles happen here every day. Agreed. Agreed. You guys are the miracle though. You know what? I would slightly amend that. I don't know if people come a long way or if we come a long way in being able to shift our perception from judging an initial impression to being able to look deeper. So I'm going to say, Sissy, you are the miracle worker, and you have actually done miracles, and I appreciate that. Tiger King says, Mr. Something Else, thank you. Mark says, I respect the whole band's musicianship, and outside of Les Claypool, Kim Deal, and Paul McCartney, Geddy is amazing at singing, playing bass. I can harmonize and place, but so make Neil proud. That's high praise. Um, you know what? I think people who play the bass, which I don't, really, really appreciate Paul McCartney. Um, he was so innovative. You know, at a time when people really didn't think of regular people, fans, didn't think of bass as being that much. I think Paul was doing amazing, amazing stuff. And didn't he play it upside down? Love you too, Praveen. Thank you, my friend. Essa says we shouldn't aspire to be false idols. Authenticity is important. Why be Loki when you can be yourself? I agree. I think he was just using it as a symbol. You know what I mean? A description. But I agree with you. Eric, the gates should be for you as well because you shouldn't take abuse and you're here to help people. You're not a battery. It's Ram, and it's disgusting the way they treat you. I appreciate you standing up for me, Tiger King, and I agree. I agree. And it took you to show me that. Thank you. It took you and Kat to show me that. Cusick says that Cars' first album still slaps. It does, absolutely. Same with the Police. They were just they were so different in that time. There was a couple others. Who else in that period that stood out for you in that late 70s? I know a lot of you are not of that age, meaning no one here is as old as me. He says Getty uses use of synths put people off. I love the 80s synth sounds. What stands out to you besides Rush, Lee? Hey, Ahmed. How are you, my friend? Wilson says it's understandable, though. It shows a largeness of character to not be bothered by rudeness towards you. But I see the other side too, both sides of what you're saying. Thank you, Wilson. I appreciate that. I appreciate that perspective. Estat assures um, uh, Sissy, as well as Tiger King, that it's just banter. You know, it's sports banter. They banter over sports. Uh, Tiger King, I hope you can see that. Our friend Estat really has been nothing but a good friend when they come in. Very supportive. I appreciate Estat quite a bit. Um, He is not trying to be hurtful at all. He's just trying to create some fun banter between you two. Cat says, Tiger King, I think Yogi has let it go. I absolutely have. Maybe it's time for you to also. Absolutely. Take care too. Praveen, I appreciate you being here, my friend. Yes, that scene. I saw it in the theaters. Um, Phoebe Cates on the diving board. I mentioned before, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Rob Fahey and the Ravens, raised on the radio. Rob Fahey is local. Uh, Ravens were named Ravens before the football team after Baltimore being the birthplace of Edgar Allan Poe, who wrote The Raven. Uh, they were so close to like making it really, really big. You know, they had that song on an international movie, on a hit movie. They opened up. I don't remember who they opened up for. I'm thinking it was AC/DC. Actually, it could have been the Stones. But they never broke through. Same with um, quite a few Baltimore bands. Wilson says bands people love that I really can't appreciate. AC/DC. Agreed. Red Hot Chili Peppers. The Nirvana Don't Hurt Me. I'm of the belief that Courtney Love's band was better than Nirvana. We talked about AC/DC the other day. Thank you, Skits. Sissy says, you know what I mean? And I agree. I'm in a relationship with dishing out gratitude and praise. It's an awesome practice, isn't it, Sissy? I think people really need to hear the good stuff about them. So often we believe that we don't have anything good about us. As I said, sports banter. Yes, Yogi. I just hope that Tiger King, I hope you can see what S. Dot is doing. He's not being malicious at all. The producers are very underrated band from the 80s too. Sheila has the best songs. You may remember it. The producers. I don't offhand. I'll check it out sometime today. Joseph says, but we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he, being the grace of God, should taste death for every man. Hebrews 2:9. Thank you, Joseph. Tiger King says, just want to be your friend, cat. That is all. You are, Tiger King. You are. I agree, everyone has different banter, but remember, it's all about where he is reaching out from. So, you know, Tiger King, you want people to understand you, where you're coming from. Uh, do your best to at least recognize where S. Dot is coming from. Sometimes those two perspectives or two interpretations don't match up. In the one interpretation, that's okay. But as long as we know that their interpretation is coming from a good place as well. Mad Scientist, or Mad Acoustic, Mad Scientist says AC/DC Back in Black is top all time. A no skip album. Every song is a banger. It's interesting you say that. There's a few albums where every song, you can hear like every song on the radio, at least back in the day. Zeppelin 4, every single song is a classic. And I believe you can hear every song on a classic rock radio station throughout the day. Who's next? Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Wilson says, yes, Hole's album was better than Nirvana, collection of songs. It was shockingly great. What do you guys think of Pearl Jam? Eddie Vedder. Good voice or not a good voice? I know his voice irritates some people. I think Pearl Jam was better than Nirvana as well. Just an opinion. Now, having said that, when Kurt Cobain and MTV's Unplugged, I think it was MTV Unplugged, um, when maybe it was, what was the other one? He did, was it Leadbelly's in the Pines? Man, I don't know if I, shockingly is a good word. Um, Kurt Cobain shocked me with that performance. YouTube it up, get that video. In the Pines, he gives out this yell mid song that is just spine grabbing. Hey, Lady Sky. Punisher says, I wear yoga pants. I wear yoga shorts. Lady Sky saying hi to everyone. Sniper says, and now you know it's not malicious, Tiger King. You can learn from it. Absolutely, Sniper. Absolutely. There's very few people here who have ever been malicious. I'm not saying that we haven't seen it. For the most part, people are doing their best to be helpful to each other. Mingus. I love Charles Mingus. Um, man, what was his album? Something Clowns? That it's almost too intense. Charlie Mingus is one of the most uh, intense jazz artists for sure out there. Hole was better than Nirvana. Nirvana was punk, man. They didn't want to sound good. That's why we liked them. But you don't think Hole was punk too? Mark says Hole was money grab and Kurt wrote a lot of it. All right, you know your music, Mark. You know your music. Pearl Jam is pretty good. Eddie made that that band without Eddie. No Pearl Jam. Mark Cameron was a metalcore replacement. His style was best suited for Soundgarden. Gotcha. And it says, good morning, ladies. Guys, I'm going to have to, I have not taken the recycling out. I'm sorry you're not doing okay, Tiger King. Original drummer for Pearl Jam was awesome. Math debating causes blindness. Yeah, I don't mess with math. You'll see no addition from me. Have I ever stolen anything? I have stolen things. I'm not as big of a thief as you are, though, Dustin. Do you know why? Because you've stolen my heart, my friend. Um, hey, Burpees Bandit. Have you done much religious study? It's a good question. I went to Catholic school, so technically, yes. From what, first grade to ninth grade, study sort of forced upon me, but yes. It was very specific religion, right? We didn't study religions, but I've always had a fascination with other religions. So I have a a little understanding of a lot, not a lot. Uh, Now, the things that I practice myself, yoga, Course in Miracles, aren't religions. They are psycho-spiritual practices. The same with Buddhism. Buddhism has been taken as a religion, but in and of itself, it's a psychology and not a religion. Esther says nothing but love and respect for everyone in Yogi's chat. Tiger King, absolutely. I agree. And I appreciate that, Esther. Skid says not taking recycling out, aka getting rid of the evidence, empty cans, mushy peas of dehydrated peas. You too, Madden. Thank you for coming in. Chris Cornell, some people said he had the purest rock voice ever. I don't know. Me, Robert Plant, man, for rock voices, you can't beat Paul McCartney. But yeah, I would not. If someone threw Chris Cornell in that mix, I would not debate that at all. All right, guys, I gotta head out, and like Skit says, I gotta go hide the evidence of my dehydrated pea juice. What's this says, Jerry Cantrell? Hey Zed, Zed said saw Robert Plant in Sacramento. Wow, man, he's still chugging along, isn't he? Burpees Bandit, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Again, all the way down from Australia. I hope you're doing well. I have not let my burpees slide. As a matter of fact, Bandit, I might need to resurrect your 11-minute routine for my off days. Thanks for coming in. Reminding me of that. It's good to smile, everyone. Be happy. Life is short. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Love you all. Love you too. Dehydrated pea juice. Dude, that's a song there. Can you do it? Mark, can you make it? Thank you, Lady Sky. I appreciate that. All right. Love you guys. I'll see y'all later.